Oh, sorry, sir. A beautiful story I got from a friend about a small incident that changed my viewpoint about my family and my relationship with others. This morning, I accidentally bumped into a stranger on the street. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir." That was my response. The stranger also said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice. I'm really sorry." We were both very polite to each other, and we both say sorry, goodbye, and that was the end of the incident. Later on that night, I was making a dinner, and my son stood next to me quietly, without saying a word. When I turned around to get something from the fridge, I bumped into my son. I got really upset with him, and I shouted, "You're on my way! Didn't you see me? Get out of here!" And he left with his small heart broken. I didn't realize just how harsh I was. Later that night, I was lying in my bed and I just couldn't sleep. I had this voice in my head that told me, "You know, earlier today you encountered a total stranger and you were polite. But with your family that love you so much, you were so rude." I went down to the kitchen and I looked at the floor. I found flowers where my son was standing earlier. I knew right away they were for me. Blue, yellow, purple. He was standing next to me quietly because he had wanted to surprise me. And he was just waiting for the right moment to give them to me as a present. I hadn't even noticed. And the tears just started pouring uncontrollably out of my eyes. I picked up the flowers one by one and felt like I was picking up his broken heart. I went to my son's room. He was sleeping in peaceful sleep. I lay down next to him on the bed and I whispered, "Wake up, son. Wake up." He slowly woke up. And I asked, "Are those the flowers you picked up especially for me?" He looked at me and said, "Oh yes, I found them next to the tree. I picked them because I thought they were just as beautiful as you. And I knew you would love them. Especially the blue one. It reminded me of the blue in your eyes." I said, with tears in my eyes, "I'm really sorry for the way I behaved today. It's really not okay. I shouldn't get that upset with you for any reason, ever." He said, "It's really okay, Dad. I love you. I love you no matter what. I love you always." And I said, "Son, I love you. I love you so much. And I love the flowers, especially the blue one." I hugged him like I never hugged him before, and he fell asleep with the biggest smile on his face. That was the story that changed my life. And here is the real reason for the story. How many times have you observed a mother or a father that allowed themselves to shout or behave really badly to their child, like they would never do to anyone else, and like they would never allow anyone to behave to them? And of course, we have the common issues of insulting children, or behaving impatient with children, or cases of using physical force with no real reason at all, or accusing the child of something without even listening to what the angel has to tell you first, and then punishing the angel. Children are the flowers of our lives. They are the most special, beautiful flowers, and you should treat them like the rarest, prettiest flowers in the whole universe. And you should never hurt your children, although they are your children. Because first and foremost, they are human, but with small body, and they belong to themselves, not to you. And And just as you should never hurt a stranger, you should not hurt your children. And please, before you stop and think that it is because of, or there are some cases that, no, stop. It is really not important what your justifiable reasons to do the things you do to children. The fact that they are physically closer to you, more controlled by you, weaker than you, need you because you are the supplier of most of their needs, and especially the fact that they forgive you for anything you do to them. These facts do not give you any approval to hurt them. It is actually the exact opposite. These are the reasons why you should give them the most patience, the most respect, the most tenderness and attention, the most amount of love. Love without any boundaries, without any reason at all. Unconditional love. I have a word game that your children ask me to tell you about. Do you know what the word family stands for? The word family stands for father and mother. I love you. Family. Now, here is your mission for today. What I need you to do is to go to each of your angels or loved ones and tell them, I love you. I really love you. I love you with no boundaries, with no reason at all. Unconditional love. I love you just because I love you. And as a bonus, you can give them 100 kisses with lots of love from me to you. And I have a special thank you. A thank you from your children for listening. Thank you.